For more than 2,000 years, one name has been the absolute last word in strategy. But what we're talking about today isn't just battlefield tactics. No, it's about something way more dangerous: the weaponization of the human mind itself. You know, we're all taught to believe that real power is about numbers, about resources, about sheer brute force. But that belief, that's actually a fatal weakness.
Because wars aren't really won on the battlefield. They're won long, long before any blood is shed, in the quiet, unseen theater of the mind.
So, let's set the scene. Our story begins in ancient China, a time of warring kingdoms, massive empires, and, well, constant, brutal conflict. Okay, I want you to imagine a kingdom, and it is on the absolute brink of being wiped out. Its rival is a behemoth, an army so big it stretches to the horizon, a treasury that seems to have no bottom. Their king is relentless, he's totally confident. The situation looks impossible, right? But the defenders, they have a secret weapon, a quiet, unassuming strategist named Sun Tzu. So while the enemy king is busy sharpening his swords and planning his big attack, Sun Tzu asks this one simple question that changes everything. It completely shifts the war from the physical battlefield to the mind. See, instead of meeting force with more force, Sun Tzu launches a silent campaign. It's an assault, all right? But not on the enemy's soldiers. It's an assault on their certainty, on their sanity. And this brilliant strategy, it unfolds in 4 deliberate stages. Each one is designed to just dismantle the enemy's will to even be there. First, you break their confidence. Second, you control what they think they see. Third, you absolutely exhaust their mind. And only then, only at the very end, do you strike, when victory is already a sure thing. So, step 1, Sun Tzu creates chaos. He starts sending out all these false signals. Little groups of his troops appear where the main army is supposed to be. Sudden retreats look suspiciously like traps. And when the enemy makes an aggressive move, they're met with just this unnerving silence. And you can just feel the doubt starting to poison the enemy camp. The general's staring at his maps, but nothing makes sense anymore. His own strength suddenly becomes a source of deep anxiety. Are we walking into an ambush? Why are they so calm? What is it that they know that we don't? And this right here gets to the heart of Sun Tzu's philosophy. He knew deep down that the human mind craves patterns. It needs certainty. When you take that away, you create a fear that is so much more potent, so much more paralyzing than any blade could ever be. Which leads us perfectly into the second step, which just builds on this foundation of fear. Sun Tzu's most famous quote: "It's not just about military fakes. It's this profound psychological insight. People don't react to reality. They react to their perception of reality. And perception, well, that can be controlled." So, with the enemy second-guessing every single move, Sun Tzu begins the third stage. He does nothing. He just waits. He delays. This massive, expensive army is just sitting there, idle. Days turn into weeks, supplies start to run low, nerves are fraying. The army is still physically strong, sure, but their mental and emotional energy, it's just draining away. Now every shadow becomes a threat. Every rustle in the trees sounds like a potential ambush. The fear of making one catastrophic mistake becomes all-consuming. The fear of the unknown, that becomes the real enemy, and it is absolutely everywhere. See, Sun Tzu isn't trying to wear out their bodies. He's waiting for their minds to break. Because a mind that's under constant, unrelenting stress will inevitably fail. It'll choose the wrong path. It'll start seeing threats where there are none. And only now, only when the enemy is mentally shattered, completely paranoid, and utterly exhausted, does the final act begin. This is the checkmate that was planned from the very first move. There's no glorious epic battle. The war just ends. The demoralized army might just retreat. The frustrated king might order a surrender. Their allies, seeing all this indecision and paranoia, they might just abandon them. The great, powerful army simply collapses under its own psychological weight. And that right there is the ultimate masterpiece of Sun Tzu's thinking. A victory so complete, so total, that it was won with almost no bloodshed. The enemy wasn't conquered. They were convinced to defeat themselves. So, what in the world just happened here? This wasn't military genius in the way we usually think about it. It was a masterclass in applied psychology.
let's actually break down the core truths that Sun Tzu was exploiting. He knew that the fear of the unknown is a way more powerful motivator than the threat of any army. He knew a confused mind can't form a coherent strategy. He knew that a leader's ego will make them overconfident, blind them to subtle threats. And he knew that if you're predictable, you are inviting defeat. He basically understood the human mind under pressure and knew exactly which levers to pull. And here you can really see the contrast. It boils down to two totally different worldviews. Brute force, it just creates a target. It invites resistance. Aggression, well, it shows your hand. It exposes your own weaknesses. But intelligence, patience, control, that dismantles an opponent's will to fight, making surrender feel like the only logical choice.
Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is all fascinating ancient history, but so what? The real question is, why does any of this matter now? Well, because this battlefield, the human mind, is where the most important conflicts are still fought today. I mean, think about it. A business negotiation where one side subtly creates doubt and exploits the other side's impatience. Or a political campaign that completely controls the narrative and just exhausts its opponent with endless distractions. A leader who uses strategic silence to gain a huge advantage. These aren't new tactics. They are pure Sun Tzu, alive and well in boardrooms, in capitals, and on servers all around the world. And that brings us to the final and maybe most chilling takeaway from all of this. Sun Tzu's philosophy isn't just about winning. It's about a level of control so absolute that your opponent is completely unaware that they were even in a game. They walk away from the table believing they made their own choices, never knowing that their every move was guided from the very beginning.